All right, guys, so in this video, we're going to talk about some features that are a bit newer to ManyChat that I'm really excited about. The first is a customer chat growth tool. And this is basically a live chat plugin option that ManyChat gives you to where people can actually start a messenger conversation with you in a very similar way that most live chat on-page options work. And then we're going to talk about the actual live chat area inside of ManyChat. And this is where you can have live one-on-one conversations with subscribers. The live chat area admin console of ManyChat has developed a lot in the past few months, and it's made it a lot easier for multiple people to work together, whether it's from a customer service or a sales conversation aspect. So we're going to go through both of these here in this video. Now, remember, these aren't really acquisition strategies, but they're definitely messenger marketing strategies in terms of using the customer chat growth tool to have real conversations with people on your website, especially if they have customer service questions or questions about your product or service. At my time at Digital Marketer, we hired someone full-time to just man the live chat admin area because so many questions were coming through. We knew that people needed assistance, but we also knew that it would ROI because a lot of questions that businesses get really are product questions, right? Are these shoes good for hiking? Do you have these shoes in my size, right? They're small, easy questions that, if answered, could lead to happier customers and to more sales for your business. So first, let's talk about the customer chat growth tool. So again, under the growth tools, we're going to go down and we're going to click customer chat. Now, before we get into the specifics here, let me show you this in action because it's really cool. So this is a fitness company selling equipment and yoga gear and all that fun stuff. And you notice that as soon as you visit their homepage, you see this chat here, right? Really cool. You've got the button, the Facebook Messenger button here, and you also have this little pop-up that says, "Hi, how can we help?" And chat now. So if you click chat now, it says, "Hey Molly, need help? Send us a message here. We'll get back to you. We run fast. Since you were here, here is a special limited free $5 coupon. Use this code free $5 off." That is an awesome use of this particular growth tool. And let me show you how to set it up. So again, we have opt-in actions, right? So you have an opt-in message, very similar to the other growth tools that we talked about. This is their opt-in message, right? They're welcoming us, they're welcoming us, telling us that we can ask questions, but they're also giving a coupon, which is really, really smart. I'm sure that if you click this button, you are also tagged as wanting to check out the top sales. So this would all be customized right here in the opt-in message area. Again, you have the option to add someone to a sequence. For this particular growth tool, I'm not sure if it's best to add someone to a sequence unless it's a simple sequence that's just following up the next day asking, "Hey, did you get your questions answered?" Because a lot of people are going to come here from more of a customer service standpoint, we want to make sure that we don't get too promotional in this opt-in message or with the sequence. But you can tag them in a sequence that simply follows up and ask if they had their questions answered or if there's anything else that you could do for them. So opt-in message, subscribe to sequence, you're going to click the setup button. And this growth tool works off of the same JavaScript snippet that we talked about with the embeddable widgets. So we want to make sure this is installed if it's not. You can hide this growth tool, this chat, on certain pages, or you could only show it on certain pages. So again, I would make sure that this chat isn't on pages where people might get distracted, right? You want the chat to strategically be on pages like product pages or sales pages or your home page where people are really in research mode, right? They're not on an order form putting in their credit card information. They're still in the phase where they're considering if they want to buy from you, and if so, what they want to buy. So you want to make sure this chat is present in logical places, right? We're not just putting this across the whole website to do it. We're thinking about where on my website might this plugin help someone, right? Where might they actually have a question? So you have two options as to how this appears. It can either be opened. So minimize view shows only the bubble with the messenger logo. So for example, this brand here, they had opened checked because when we landed on this site, the bubble was here, but also there was another area asking if we had any questions, right? If they would have selected minimized, you would have only have seen this bubble right here. So you have two options, opened and minimized. I highly recommend going with opened. Color, again, you can change the color, which is really cool. There's a greeting message for logged in users. So the greeting text that will display if the user is currently logged into Facebook, or the greeting text that will be displayed if the user is not logged into Facebook. So the greeting text is what we saw. And I wonder if this is going to restart this here. Let's open this in another browser so that we can go back to the greeting text. So the greeting text is what we saw upon default when we first saw this plugin in action. So, hi, how can we help you, right? This was greeting text for someone that was logged in. If they're not logged in, you probably want to say, hi, how can we help you, log into Facebook below, right? So this is where the greeting text lives. It's the first thing that they are going to see if you have the customer chat view as open. So again, greeting message for logged in users and greeting message for logged out users. And you have the opportunity to decide if you want this on mobile and desktop or both. I recommend both because people use live chat no matter what device they are using. So this is the customer chat growth tool, guys. And again, this is really used to drive these on-page discussions, especially when it comes to questions about your product or any customer service issues that someone might have. Now, let's talk about live chat, which goes hand in hand with the customer chat growth tool, but it's also its own separate beast here. You find it here in the menu. The first thing I want to show you is that there are live chat setting options here under bot settings. So we want to make sure that your live chat behavior is conversation should be opened explicitly. You don't want a live chat to open every time someone interacts with one of your bots. So imagine, every time someone comments using the comment to message grow tool that it would open a live chat option, right? That could be really frustrating. So we want to make sure that conversation should be open explicitly, right? Which this is done whenever you're in Flow Builder or you're building a message, you can add an action, and the action would be called open conversation. So that's how you would tell your bot in a particular sequence, hey, we want this to open in a live chat conversation. That is best used when you're building a sequence or sending a message that wow, this person has reached a certain point where they either really need help, right? Maybe they're asking questions that the bot can't answer, and your default reply says, hey, sorry, the bot can't answer your questions, but if you would like to talk to a human, click the button below. You would make sure that that button has an action that opens the conversation. You could also use this in other sequences where, for example, maybe you're qualifying leads, and based off of how they answer a particular question in that sequence, if they hit a button that means they would be really qualified for your business or your agency, and you want someone to talk to them fast, you could make that button click trigger an action that opens in live chat. So I just wanted you guys to understand how live chat conversations start. This is a new but very beneficial feature here. You can turn the sound notifications on and off for live chat, which I know is annoying for a lot of you guys. So now let's look inside of live chat. So let's say that someone is going through a sequence and they've clicked a button, which means they're really qualified for my Facebook ads agency. They could be a great lead, right? This would open here inside of live chat, and you can see that all of these live chats open up into a specific conversation. Now, keep in mind, unless you are answering a customer service question, the 24-hour rule still applies here. So unless you're answering a customer service question, make sure that you aren't violating this rule inside of live chat. Now, this live chat area is built for multiple people to be able to work together, which is great for customer service teams or sales teams. So maybe, this person would be a great sales conversation. So I'm going to assign them to Dan, right? So now Dan knows that this is a conversation that he needs to engage with. There's also a really awesome feature here, hide messages from bot. So this will just ensure that you don't have to scroll through all of the messages that were automated from the bot. You can just see conversations between you and this individual here. So you can also mark this as done. So if you want this conversation to essentially close out and you want to say, I'm done with this, kind of like a customer service ticketing tool, you would mark this conversation as done, and you also have the option to open it. Now, what's beautiful about live chat is that you can set the ability to pause automation. So during the pause, a user receives no broadcast, no keywords, no default reply. Sequent messages are queued and sent after the pause has ended. So this will ensure, especially if you have someone that's having a lot of customer service issues and they definitely don't want to hear more marketing messages from you, you can pause this and then you can add time if you want, right? So you could add 30 more minutes, right? 30 more minutes to give this person time to respond and for you guys to get things resolved, which is really exciting. Some other things which you'll see more options here later in the life of ManyChat, but you can see the tags. So where this person maybe came from, if you're using tagging inside of your sequences, which is really powerful, you can see which sequences they are, they've been subscribed to. You can subscribe them to a sequence. You can see where they opted in through, and you can also see their custom fields. If you're using custom fields, and you want to see their email address or maybe their phone number. So this gives you all of the customer data. You can also individually unsubscribe people here if you see that they're having trouble unsubscribing. That is an option for you. Again, if you want to access the live chat settings, you can also do that through clicking this button here and changing the settings that we initially went over. But I just wanted to make sure you guys understood customer chat, growth tool, and live chat are separate features inside of ManyChat, but they're very similar. So you want to think about the growth tool again as a way to drive traffic into Messenger from your website, more for customer service or sales conversations. And then you want to think about live chat as the place that your customer service or your sales team lives in to make sure that we are getting back to people in a timely manner. Again, people are expecting instantaneous responses and messages, and you can set the expectation that a human will, be back to them in 12 hours or 24 hours. But we want to make sure that we're paying close attention to the live chat area and that you're not missing any leads and that you're not missing any big customer service issues. I also wanted to show you guys one quick feature that would also be very helpful. So let's act like we're going to send a broadcast here. We're going to hit new broadcast and we're going to add a button. So say this button is back to the Facebook ad agency. This button says, that we're asking what their budget is for Facebook ads. And say they clicked that they're willing to spend over $50,000 a month and that would be a really good lead for your business. Well, we can add an action that opens a conversation in live chat, right? Which is what we just talked about. We can also add an action that notifies an admin via Messenger and email, right? And you can customize this here. So if you're at a step in a sequence or a broadcast where, wow, if someone clicks this, we want to get to them as soon as possible, then we want to make sure that we have notify admin as an action so that whomever should be following up with these people gets notified as soon as possible. And again, that will open here in the live chat area if you also add an action to open a conversation. So I hope this was helpful, guys, and I will see you in the next video.